Everybody says the Fahaka puffer is extremely aggressive, and if put in with other fish, it'll attack them, eat them. It'll eat anything and everything that it possibly can. So when I moved my Fahaka puffer to my 700-gallon community aquarium, should I be surprised that he ate them all? You're eating the tetras, aren't you? Let's go back to when we got my puffer to better understand where we're going with this.
Oh yes. So many of you wanted me to get this. So many of you will be happy I got this.
It was August 2019 when I aired the unboxing video of getting him. We had set up a 120-gallon aquarium for this tiny little fish.
Tetradon linatus, I believe how you say that. The Fahaka puffer. I've been wanting to keep one of these guys for a very long time, but they are a semi-aggressive or pretty much aggressive fish. Kind of got to be kept on its own.
Gave it everything it needed, included talking about these guys are aggressive. By December of 2021, my Fahaka puffer, whose name was Tyrese by this time, named by my son Darius, was moved to a separate 120-gallon aquarium containing 6 large Oscars, all of which were over 8 inches in length. Now, we've had him for over 7 years, and because of that, he's moved tanks here and there, and the latest one was he's in a 60-gallon aquarium, or was in a 60-gallon aquarium in my 23-foot-long aquarium rack that I built inside of a 60-gallon acrylic tank that I built. That tank is 48 inches long, 16 inches wide, 16 inches tall. Tyrese, I measured him today. He was around 8 or 9 inches long. It was also today that I discovered he ate them all, but we're going to get to that here shortly. This past December, I posted a bit of a cryptic post on Facebook. I did it because it's something that I want to do, but it was also like rage baiting and engagement farming. I love doing that stuff. I'm a bit of a troll at heart, but what you guys didn't know is that this post has been haunting my head for years. And it was going to be this January that I was going to begin doing it. But the heater debacle with the 700-gallon happened, and stage 1 was moving Tyrese to the 700-gallon. I didn't want to move him to it until I could guarantee that he was going to be safe in this tank. By removing that heater, obviously he's going to be fine now. And unfortunately, like, oh, you're willing to let everybody else die or whatever, but not Tyrese? Yes, Tyrese comes first. It sounds horrible. Okay, I shouldn't have said it that way. Fact of the matter is there was something going on in the tank. As explained in the video, I didn't know exactly what was happening at that time. It could have been tank, equipment, water quality, could have been the fish. It was an isolated tank, and it's serving its quarantine. Like, there's no way I'm going to try to shut the tank down or remove all the fish and potentially infect everybody else until I figure out what's actually happening. And that's the truth. The whole Tyrese thing it just sounded funny. And I was worried that while I get this tank under control, because you'll remember from the video from a couple days ago, I wasn't positive of what it was, there's no way I was going to toss him into that situation. January 31st, though, I did move him to the 700-gallon. But why would I move him, these highly aggressive pufferfish, to a tank filled with, for example, hundreds of tetras? And what the heck does that Facebook post have to do with any of this? That post was insinuating that some of my fish would do better in some of the other tanks that I have, but some shuffling would have to obviously be involved, and the results would be shocking to you. In my next video, I'm going to reveal exactly what the overall plan's going to be. But again, why on earth would I move a Fahaka puffer into a community tank when the internet, when you Google it, obviously, says the Fahaka puffer is incredibly and extremely aggressive and to use caution. And these are the types of videos that I like to make because now we can kind of understand things and things can make sense. Now, even though this situation's not going to maybe apply to you, what I'm about to say will. I believe the hobby is, unfortunately, largely situational and less factual. I'll explain that. Factual. Pufferfish are aggressive, don't put them in a tank with anything else. Situational. Depends on the size of the tank, the personality of the fish, the environment that they're in, the scape, the water parameters, etc. Or, and I know a lot of you guys do this because I see it all the time, African cichlids can't be kept with South American cichlids. And largely, we probably shouldn't do it, but it works for a lot of you. You can't keep this with that, you can't do this, and you can't do that. And it's situational. They don't know what size your tank is, the dimensions of it, your water parameters, the type of light, the schedule the light's on, what type of substrate, decor, plants, no plants, everything depends. But we all have those situations where we'll see a post or we'll see somebody do something and we'll be like, damn, how is that supposed to work? I read that that's not supposed to work. Now, what I'm going to talk about worked for me. It might not work for you, and what worked for you might not work for me. It's situational. Okay, back to the actual video. Why move him to the 700? Again, back to where we started. When I got him, I knew he was going to be aggressive. I need to keep him in a tank with a bunch of snails, so I bought him a bunch of snails. No other fish. An environment where there's sand in different places, because what I've learned over time is the puffer, the Fahaka is like a big hummingbird that likes to lay down a lot. So you got to have a smooth substrate, but he's not like, he'll swim around, but they're not like fast or anything. They tend to be an ambush predator. Their natural diet is snails, crustaceans, small fish as well, but it's the reason they have a beak. And having those snails in the tank allows it, or if you feed it snails, you want to keep or shrimp, you want to keep the shell on. All these types of things the internet will tell you, so that the Fahaka's beak will naturally kind of break itself down. People feed clams, mollusks, all kinds of stuff to do that.
There he is, pretty fella. Boom, and you go. So we just added him. And he's doing what I said, but check him out. He's right there. So with the puffers, this tank wasn't set up for a puffer, but it is ideal. He's got plenty of hiding spaces, overhangs, he's got some vegetation, and in the wild, these Fahakas will be found in vegetation a lot of the times. Diet consisting mostly of mollusks, like snails and clams and you name it, that sort of things.
So let's address the diet. I don't feed my Fahaka puffer, Tyrese, snails, mollusks, clams, nothing like that. I give him what everybody else gets. Dry foods like pellets, and I give him shrimp and frozen foods, or he doesn't get really anything hard. If there's snails in the tank, there you go, bonus. But won't his beak overgrow and he won't be able to eat, and then I'm going to have to take him out of the tank and clip his beak or his teeth with toenail clippers? No, because fish and animals are incredibly intelligent and they know better than you. What I've discovered over the 7 years of having just Tyrese, I didn't have a bunch of Fahaka puffers. I've had one, and it was just him. I've had 9 different species of puffers, but this is the only Fahaka that I've had. I've had large river stones, and I've noticed scrape marks on it. And then I've noticed Tyrese biting at it, and I'm looking, it's like, is there a snail or algae, or what are you trying to do? He's shaving his teeth on his own. So long as I have large river stones or smooth stones that he can bite onto or kind of shave his teeth down, he'll do it himself. The internet doesn't tell you that. They only tell you they're incredibly aggressive. Don't keep him with other fish. But didn't we have him with Oscars? And weren't they perfectly fine for over a year? So knowing what I know and my experience with my individual pufferfish and my situation, I knew 2 things. 1, I don't really need to give him this crazy specific diet that everybody recommends. 2, I also don't need to worry about other fish because he leaves them alone. We've had him with tetras, we've had him with little fish, big fish, all kinds of fish. Tyrese is a good boy, but he's capable of damage. Similar to my dog, Luke, who is a golden retriever. He's capable, but he's a good boy. Yes, he could bite me, but he's probably never going to. And if he does, I probably deserved it. Oh boy, he would love to hear that. So now I can bite for real? The pufferfish is a personable fish, and because of that, it has personality. I thought I'd move him to the 700 because he deserves it. He's one of the longest living fish in here, and the 700, in my opinion, especially after losing 18 discus and a couple of angels, needed a feature fish. For example, you could have a tank of tetras, but add in a pair of angelfish, like a breeding pair or something like that, or just like something like it changes the entire dynamic of the tank. And in this case, when I added Tyrese to the aquarium, I will be 100% honest, I was not expecting what was to happen. I net him out of his tank and transfer him to the 700. Identical water and 4 feet away from each other, as well as temperature. Drop him in, and he just sinks to the bottom like this little sad log of puffer fish. And he's sitting there, and he's looking around with his eyes that remind me of a chameleon's. You know, they can look wherever they want like that. All of the tetras come out, and they start to swarm around him and like kind of swim around him, almost as if like, hey, welcome to the tank. And then the Disney moment happened. All of the discus came over and they were like aiming down on him, and Tyrese still going like this. And as soon as he noticed, you guys are my friends, he gets up out of the tank, he's swimming around, he's exploring it, and the tank comes to life. No longer are fish hiding. That, like, if I look over my shoulder at it, oh, there he is. The discus are out. The tetras tend to stay in the back a lot just due to lighting and whatnot. Unless I feed, I can get them to come out at any time. Oh, the tetras are over there. Angels, everybody's far more active and like happy with Tyrese in the aquarium. However, today I did 2 things. One, I wanted to measure him and see how big he was, and since he's so personable, I took out a measuring tape. Oh, it's actually right here. And I was trying to measure him and get him to move sideways and stuff like that, and tapping on the glass. He's about 9 inches, so about this long. I thought he was 12 inches. He's about 9 inches long. And then the other thing I was going to do, I was going to film this video today, and I was like, I should probably clean the glass, which I rarely ever do, and I'm going to squish some snails. So I'm always in the tank removing, because it has an infestation. He's been in there 3 weeks now, and during the first week, I fed him, and he was eating, and what he eats is, well, he'll eat whatever I offer. However, the easiest thing to capture on camera, because it's white and it just contrasts really nicely in the tank, is like chopped up shrimp, market shrimp, Pacific white shrimp. And he eats that, so I'm dropping in little chunks. He's eating it, no problem. But I usually only feed him 1 or 2 shrimp every couple of days, because the other thing about Fahaka puffers and puffers in general is they will eat until they explode, and it's not healthy for them, especially in captivity. Overfeeding your fish, power feeding, etc., it just shortens their lifespan. There's nothing positive that comes out of, eating too much food. Next day, his gut is like distended and huge. I was like, damn. Following day, it goes back to normal. I was like, okay, maybe I fed him a little more than I thought. The following day, boom, big old belly again, and I didn't feed him immediately. You're eating the tetras, aren't you? And no, he's not eating the tetras. They're all in there. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, okay, maybe you were eating the odd one, or you're eating somebody or something in the tank. And what you guys don't know is there are autosynclus in here. There's bushy-nosed plecos. There's Siamese algae eaters. There's obviously discus, ultim angels. There's blackline tetras. There's African glass catfish. There's a ton of fish in here. And I'm thinking, you're getting to one of them, but I'm watching the tank, and they're all in there. I chalk it up to maybe he's eating soil or something like that, because again, he's the golden retriever of the hobby. Probably just like, if there was kitty litter in there, he'd eat it. I shouldn't say that stuff. I go to make today's video, and I'm thinking, oh, let me clean the glass, let me squish some snails, and usually I just pick the snails up and squish them. And that's when I notice there's not a single snail to be squished. And then I start scouring the tank. And like I said, there was an infestation. And in a 700-gallon tank, there's not a whole lot you can do besides, well, kill them when you see them. He cleared the entire 700 gallons of snails within 3 weeks. Or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. I'm literally editing this right now. Let's have a look and see if we can find a single snail. Tyrese, his lips is healing. Let's look for a snail. How do I go from having a snail infestation to nothing? Let's go back over here. Oh, they're the size of you. And then tetras. There's none. Oh. That must be an empty shell. But you get the idea. Like, it went from going crazy. And so many... Oh, stop following me around. You're starting to get creepy. You look like you got a lisp, too. To no snails at all. I got to do a video where I break down this entire aquarium here shortly. It's so beautiful, especially in person. So yes, he ate them all. Hope he's enjoyed that clickbait. I love making those. I like the clickbait that I make because it's true. He wasn't able to eat all of the snails. There's probably going to be babies and eggs here and there, so he'll have a constant free food supply for as long as he lives. Could he have been fine in the 60-gallon? Well, it's on a 300-gallon system. The tank is dimensionally big enough. I could have just ripped the plants out and pruned it, and he'd have more swimming space, etc. But I knew I was moving them, and I wanted those plants for something else, so I was growing them. In this tank, he has friends. He has constant food supply. He's front row and center. He's never going to outgrow this tank. And it also, for us, it's something new for this tank. We get to see a new character in the tank. He's always up front unless he's like laying down. He likes to go in the back and lay down. I think he lays down and watches the tetras. I think it mesmerizes them or something because they spend a lot of time in the back. But there you have it. I think that the purpose of this video and coming in the next few videos is there going to be some shocking shuffling of fish, but it will be for the betterment of them long term. And I think that you shouldn't worry about what everybody else thinks of your tanks. If it's working for you, it's working for you. And I think it's important to share your successes and failures. It doesn't make it factual or now it's written in stone that that's how we have to do this. It's just the more information and the more data that we have, the more the further we can progress in the hobby and the sooner. I know a lot of people that keep Fahaka puffers with other fish and they do just fine. Fahaka puffers are incredibly aggressive, but it's during breeding. I don't know where all this started, but it's during breeding. Or with other Fahaka puffers. Go figure. I don't get along with people. I don't blame Tyrese to not get along with his people. Anyways, if you want to find out what's going on in the upcoming videos, and I believe it's in a day or two, I'm going to really blow your socks off. So if you want to see that, you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe if not already. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I'm probably going to enjoy my snailless 700-gallon aquarium with Tyrese. See you in the next video. Everything depends. And that's today's sponsor. As a 43-year-old, I sometimes have accidents, and I have to depend on... I'll edit that out. For those that don't know, Depends is an adult diaper. I don't wear them every day. Okay. Maybe I should start doing these bloopers, because I crack myself up.